Welcome back to another edition of Bourbon Kingdom. I'm David.
And I'm Zach.
And today we are going to do 6 bourbons worth hunting for here in kind of what we call allocation season.
Yep, for 2021.
For 2021, yeah.
So basically, these are the bottles that I know him and I both personally like to look for every year. We don't get them every year.
Nope.
But we certainly do try to every year.
Love to stumble upon them.
Yeah, and before we even start the list, let's talk about 2 things. First off, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube. All of those help. It really, and it's awesome. So we really appreciate it. 2, to about the 3% of you that are out there who's going to get really super upset because we're talking about allocated bottles. This is the whole point of the video, is to talk about allocated bottles that we like. So if you don't like that, I would say I would apologize, but you're here to hear that. So yeah, that's all I got for you.
And we realize, again, we'll do another disclaimer that they're hard to find.
I feel better about this already.
They're hard to find for us.
Yeah, they're all hard to find.
Yeah.
It's all hard to find.
Yeah, it's hard
Most
to find.
of these are found via secondary.
Yeah,
if
which
I'm
we
being
don't
honest.
want to do.
Or if you have to go to the distillery, which is one of them on the list, or 2 of them, actually.
Yeah.
And actually, you can probably find like 3. But, and here's the other thing we did with the list. We didn't pile up multiples from one distillery. So each bottle we have is from just its own separate distillery. Yes, these are typically all the big boy distilleries out there. And yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah.
So you ready to
All
start?
right, so let's start. First one.
We should explain how we're doing the bottles, by the way.
No, go ahead.
So I'll go ahead and set this out here. So,
and you'll notice that none of these are from this year as well.
Yes, because we don't have any of these current bottles right now, because these are the ones that we're actually hunting for. So I used a substitution of last year's bottle, the year before, something like that.
Yeah.
That's the disclaimer.
Yeah, that's the disclaimer. So this is Wild Turkey Master Keep. It is a blend of like 8, 10, and 14-year bourbons.
For the new toasted bourbon.
Yeah, for the new toasted one.
Yeah.
And it's going to be kind of put in for a second time in like a new toasted charred barrel. And it's going to come in at about 101 proof.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be about 101 proof.
Yeah. And all of these, like, different expressions, like, I mean, you'll notice he's got the last 4, and they're all different color boxes because they do different things with them, and all have some sort of difference in their the expression of them. So.
Sure, and they're all normally pretty solid. There's a couple of them that maybe don't live up to the hype of others, but they do. Like Wild Turkey just does such a great job because they're all different. It's not like the same thing with this list as in, like, you know, you get like a King Kentucky or something where it's like it's still great no matter what, but it's basically the same standard every year. Yeah. So the next one we're going to talk about is what would be the new Parker's Heritage Heavy Char Wheat. So I do not currently have a heavy char bourbon, neither do you. We can both confirm though it is fan-freaking-tastic.
It is.
If you can get one.
If you can get one.
If you can get 3.
The weeder is a heater, is what I like to say.
Yeah. So, but the bourbon for sure. Get as many of those as you can. Collect them now. So the weeded one though will be the 15th edition that will be coming out for the Parker Heritage. Most of them are pretty solid. There's like 1 or 2. I got one up there. Not so great. But,
it happens.
Yeah.
You can't hit a home run every time. Sometimes it's a double.
And that one was like a strikeout. But, and I can't say from where or from who, but he watches the channel. He knows what I'm getting ready to say. I'm just not going to say any names. Might have had a little sample of that new heavy char weeded. I won't confirm nor deny if it's good or not, but I'm just saying I am looking forward to trying it and reviewing it for the channel this year because I have interesting thoughts to say about it.
Trying it and buying it is what he's trying to say.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. So the next one is one that's always on everybody's list is Old Forester Birthday Bourbon. You could just look at the bottle and you know what you're looking for. Go ahead and finish this because I'm going to have like a little sample of this.
You're going to drink birthday? Oh.
I am going to drink birthday bourbon. Do you want some?
Would have been nice. Sure. I guess I can since we're going to drink my birthday bourbon. That is so special that you normally save it for special occasions.
This is a special occasion. We're talking about 6 bourbons to hunt for.
This is true. So the newest one that came out is 2021. It is a 12-year-old. It's about 104 proof, which I think is like the second or third highest proof one that they've done. Has a lot of great notes that just kind of like, you get like a lot of heavy char notes that come with it. This is probably, I'm looking at everything on the list, it's probably the hardest one to find, even though if you're around Kentucky locally, you can sometimes get lucky and find them at the distillery, but it's totally random.
I was
no
about
guarantee of anything.
15 people too late. I went down.
Makes sense.
I went down at about. There were some people camped out 2 days in advance for this one.
Oh yeah,
and I happened to go down the morning of at about 10 o'clock because I caught wind that they were going to hand out tickets, which would be awesome, like to hand out tickets. Sure. And so they handed out the tickets, and I was literally 15 people
tough
out of the thing. But again, it's hunting. It's not finding. It's not always finding.
It's hunting. It's not getting.
Yeah.
So, but these are great. Obviously, we don't have to explain how great these bottles are. They're very, very special, and we look for them every year.
Yeah.
So, all right. Now, the next one we're going to talk about.
This is my unicorn.
Oh, is this not your unicorn?
It's my unicorn. I
thought Russell's 13 was your unicorn.
Well, it is too.
Do you have like a whole stable of unicorns?
2 unicorns. This one, the Four Roses, limited edition, yearly release.
Yeah.
I love Four Roses. Hands down, probably my favorite distillery. I just like just about everything they do. And so, never, I've put myself in the lottery several.
We all have.
Yeah, everybody does.
Yeah, everybody does.
And still have not sniffed one. I know there are people who watch this channel who probably like, I got one every year. Well, good for you. It comes in at 114.2 proof. It is like in the wheelhouse of
That's
proof.
almost perfect.
Yeah, it's like in the wheelhouse of proof. Yeah,
I agree.
And so it's just.
And they also it's a blend. It's a 16-year-old. They have 16-year-old OB, SV, 14-year-old OB, SQ, 12-year-old OESK, and a 16-year OESV.
Yeah,
I think. And it's awesome. And I will say this: there's normally a decent amount of these bottles out there. There's like around 12 to 14,000 normally of these bottles every year, which is a good amount. That is a really good solid amount.
That's a really good amount for an allocated bourbon.
Yeah, and Wild Turkey's the same way.
But it's still hard to find.
It's still hard to find. It's extremely hard to find.
Yeah.
And what's also kind of crazy is I think this, and I'm not, we can talk about secondary or whatever at a different point in time. This used to be a really good value on secondary, around $300. Now they've went up. Everything's went up. We all get it. But even on that, still has really good value.
Yeah.
And the 2020 was awesome. 2019 was awesome too.
Yeah, 2019. I really, really enjoyed the 2019.
No doubt.
The next one is Zach's go-to favorite bourbon. I don't besides King of Kentucky.
If I could afford to drink one of those on a daily basis, I would.
Stag Junior. This one, it has 2 releases every year.
Mm-hmm.
The second release is out.
Technically. Nobody's seen it.
I've seen it on secondary.
Yeah, we've seen it on secondary, but nobody's seen it at the store anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm in groups in Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, California, New York. Nobody has seen it anywhere.
And since this is the unique thing this year, the second release is going to be even probably harder and more expensive to get if you're on the secondary. It'll be the same price as it normally is if you can find it at a store. Because its daddy is not making an appearance this year.
That's true. Stag Junior has a daddy issue this year with the Stag not coming out. So it is going to be. It's already went up on the secondary too. This used to be the best value on secondary.
Yeah, what 125 to 150 secondary.
Yeah. Just all day long, and it's doubled almost since then.
Yes.
So to me, it's one of the best bottles that's produced year in, year out.
Yeah.
They're awesome. There's also a crap ton of them, and there's 2 releases of it every year. So if you miss one, you can sometimes get from the other one, or you can trade for the other one if you get multiples. Yeah. It's really, really good.
Find it, hunt it, hopefully.
And then our last bottle, and these have been just crushing it the last couple years, is the Jack Daniel's Special Release. So, I know, right? That rye just
Yeah, the
it's
rye.
awesome.
The rye. Whew.
Jack Daniel's has just crushed it over the last couple of years. They have done so well. This rye is one of the best ryes I've ever had in my life. That Parker Heritage rye that I have, I don't have it open because that's the last one I have, and I'm holding on to it for some stupid special occasion. I don't know when. That heavy char might be my favorite rye. If it's not, it's probably that.
Ooh, yeah, this one. This one won a rye battle.
Yeah. Yeah, and it won by
Yeah, it crushed.
It
crushed
crushed
a rye
it.
battle.
Yeah. Now the next one that's coming out with, so this is supposed to be a very high proof one. It's like they're talking like these high proof barrels. It was done at the very top of the rick houses that they have. I think they rotate them around or something like that, and they were talking like they're all going to be 141 proof.
Ooh.
I know it's gonna be legit. Now I don't chase proof, and
That'll put hair on your chest.
that will.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily chase proof or anything, but the last two releases that they've had has been so dang good. I want it, and these are actually really hard for us to find in this area because we get such limited release of it.
Yes.
I got this in Indiana. I don't know of a store who got one in Kentucky. I'll be honest with you, I don't. So. Anyways,
This
but
one is so good.
yeah, no, they crush.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
anyways,
Why don't you tell us, what you're hunting for this fall?
So-
I think that would be the ideal situation. These are 6 things that we're looking for.
Yeah.
Maybe you have something else on your list that is your unicorn. For me, like I said, this is my unicorn. I missed out on it this year.
Yeah.
This one, really good one. Missed out on it this year.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with any of them, honestly, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And, if you get one, you've already won.
Yeah.
And by the way, we didn't make this list thinking if you get a Pappy, if you get a B-Tac, if you get a King Kentucky, those are all no-brainers.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are,
Like, I'll be honest with you. And to an extent, these might be no-brainers, but this is, I kind of
if
feel
this
like.
is sitting next to a Pappy or a B-Tac or sitting next to a Pappy or a B-Tac, you leave these on the shelf.
Yeah.
And you get the Pappy or the B-Tac.
Yeah. I mean, those are, exactly, those are kind of just.
But these are realistic in their unrealistic.
These are the bottles that whenever you guys go out hunting for and you go to lottery, store openings, special releases, these are the bottles you will, odds are, run into. Typically those other ones, those special E.H. Taylors, whichever next one's going to be, the one they sent to the moon and let it age for 10 years or whatever.
No, it's the one that was soaked in E.H. Taylor's bones.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Something ridiculous.
And it'll be $70,000.
I know. All right, get us out of here.
All right. Well, listen, till the next time, we'll see you.
See ya.